Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're back after a little bit of a hiatus. I told our producer, Steve, that we weren't going to do a broadcast on New Year's Eve because I wanted to give you guys the night off. So, at any rate, we're back tonight. And our guest tonight is 62-year-old Brett B. Ashley, who is looking for a kidney donor to save his life in these challenging times of COVID-19. He has been looking for a kidney now for over 3 years. He is a former ship's captain in the United States Merchant Marine and has sailed all over the world, including one trip of a load with life-saving wheat to Bangladesh at the request of the Vatican. He also has owned and operated a computer business as well as marketing and an advertising firm whose clients included Radio City Music Hall and Madison Square Garden. He is an avid, and I do mean avid, fisherman who has been fishing as a youngster since working on the boats at Sheepshead Bay. Brett is a very civic-minded guy. He's donated computers to the disadvantaged and he's also a Big Brother mentor. He has a keen interest in music, performing in live and local cover bands, starting in 1969 and going until 2019, where he had to give up playing guitar due to a peripheral neuropathy in his hands due to dialysis. His kidney story is fascinating. In February of 2019, he was hospitalized at St. Francis Hospital with an infection in his leg that became septic, causing his kidneys to fail. Despite his doctor's best efforts, he began to do in-center dialysis 3 times a week, about 4 hours every time, which has greatly impacted his life. He has had 10 people so far that tested for him, only to have 10 failures. Okay, hang on. He's currently listed at Hackensack Medical Center in Hackensack, New Jersey. His other listings include North Shore University Hospital. You can contact his transplant coordinator there, Linda LeVay. He's a blood type O. His date of birth is May 29, 1959. Make sure you're giving the kidney to the right Brett. He's also listed at Weill Cornell in New York City and Einstein Medical in Philadelphia. All of these places, the links, the phone numbers, all of that stuff is in the comments. So if you're interested in checking things out for Brett, check out the comments. All the links that you need are there. Brett is also listed with the National Kidney Registry, the NKR, which permits donors from anywhere across the United States, with nearly 100 great transplant centers in their network. This enables the donor to donate at any NKR-affiliated transplant center near them or at the Hackensack Medical Center where Brett is currently listed. The NKR recognizes paired donation or a donor swap between unmatching recipients, and if someone donated on Brett's behalf to another recipient, the NKR would issue a voucher, moving Brett up to the top of the list in order for him to get a transplant. A voucher is kind of like an IOU for a kidney. So it's kind of a cool thing. Even better than that, many times donors are reluctant to donate due to their out-of-pocket costs for expensive. It can be as high, like in New York, they average about $4,000. The NKR has a donor shield protection program under the National Organ Transplant Act that covers these expenses, including lost wages, room and lodging, and travel expenses. Be sure you check out Brett's NKR page, register to donate for Brett at www.nkr.org/SFA668 to sign up or to share on local media. And again, that link and the information at Brent's page is all in the comments. Please give a warm welcome to our good friend, Brett B. Ashley. Brett, how you doing, buddy?
Good. I'm so happy to be here talking with you. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Shout out to my friend Candy Gagne, who tells us she's back tonight and checking us out. So thanks, Candy. Listen, did I correctly state all of the information in the introduction?
You absolutely did. The only change was on the special NKR microsite that I have is www.nkr.org/SFA/SFA668. So
okay.
Other than that, everything was absolutely perfect.
Thank
Wonderful.
you, Brett.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your background, where you grew up, your education, your employment experiences. What's
Sure.
going on with all that?
Well, a little bit about me. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. I am a graduate of Brooklyn Technical High School. I am a graduate of State University of New York Maritime College, where I deployed and went to sea after that and worked until I received my master's license, taking ships all around the world with cargo, mostly oil and bulk grain to various countries around the world. It was a very exciting time. I enjoyed it. And after going to sea and wanting to have a home life, I left the maritime business and went into the computer business. I had a computer business for about a dozen years where we supplied computers to large corporations in the New York metropolitan area. Um, we eventually got acquired by a public firm, and post that situation, I went to work for and became a partner in a marketing and advertising firm. And in this marketing and advertising firm, we developed a publication called Headliner Magazine for Radio City Music Hall. And so if anyone ever went to the Christmas Spectacular there, they were handed a book that we created that would tell everybody about the show and give them information about New York City. And it was a really wonderful project that we had. We had it for many years. And so it was a lot of fun. And eventually it was time to enjoy life. And just as I was ready to start enjoying life, I unfortunately got sick. I developed an infection in my leg. It went septic. I went to a hospital on Long Island where they used very heavy-duty antibiotics to save my life. And in saving my life, unfortunately, those antibiotics killed my kidneys. And so I went into the hospital with one problem, and I came out with another problem, and I was on dialysis before I could blink an eye. It was quite the life-changing event for me.
Okay. Talk to us a little bit about beginning dialysis. Now, I understand that's in-center hemo. Is that correct?
Yes, I've been on in-center hemo since I got out of the hospital. And so 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I go to a local dialysis center where they hook me up for about 4 hours, where they filter my blood, take out excess fluids, and it's even though you're just sitting in a chair, it's an exhausting process. It tires you out tremendously, and so it's been quite the grind for going on 3 years now. In February, it'll be 3 years.
Okay. Can you describe for us what complications or challenges that you have faced since you've been on dialysis?
Well, dialysis is an exhausting process. It saves your life. It keeps you vertical, but it takes away an incredible amount of strength from you. I have to spend a lot of time working out and maintaining my strength in order to be able to walk around. But the biggest problem that I received by going to dialysis is it's caused a neuropathy, a numbing in my hands. I have played guitar for over 50 years, and this numbing has unfortunately put me in a position where I just can't play anymore. I can't feel the guitar neck, and I can't hold a pick to strum the guitar. And so I am unable to play anymore, which is really a very sad thing for me. But at the same time, I'm grateful that I'm still vertical, I'm still alive, and I'm hopeful that someone will feel the willingness to help another human being, because you can't just buy a kidney off the shelf. Someone has to be an altruistic person that wants to help another human being on a way that can't be done in any other way than by donating their organ.
Okay. So you've been seeking a kidney transplant now for approximately 3 years. Is that correct?
Well, it took a while to get finally accepted into the program. First I was accepted at Weill Cornell. Now I'm also, in addition to Weill Cornell, at Hackensack, in addition to 2 other centers. But yeah, I would say all in all, I was eligible for about 2.5 years now to receive a kidney.
Okay. I have you at the Hackensack University Medical Center in New Jersey. The phone number to call there, 551-996-2608. And as I said, the links are in the comments. You mentioned Weill Cornell in New York City. I understand
Yes,
that you're also listed at Einstein Medical in Philadelphia. Is that correct?
that is correct. Yes.
Okay.
And as well as North Shore University Hospital in Manhasset, New York, which is on Long Island.
All right. And your transplant coordinator there is a lady named Linda Lavallee.
Yeah.
And I have her number, 516-472-5800. You're a blood type O. Your
Yes.
birthday is May 29th, 1959. We want to make sure we get the kidney to the right Brett, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And the links and everything that you need, all the information is in the comments. So, if you'd like to help Brett out, hi, Bobby, sorry. That's the place to look. Talk to us a little bit how COVID-19 has complicated your search for a donor. Why has that made things so tough?
It's been very challenging. It's a very challenging process without COVID. But when you mix COVID into the situation, people who might be altruistic in a way to want to help, many people have kind of withdrawn within themselves, and this type of pandemic situation puts people in where they want to stay home. They don't want to go out. They don't want to get tested. They are, and understandably, want to take care of themselves and make sure that they're okay. And so the number of people that have been able to come forward or have been willing to come forward has unfortunately reduced. I'm hoping now that there's a vaccine and there's a booster, that people are going to start to think about helping others during this really, unprecedented time.
I have read one of the newspaper articles about you. There was one that was written right before Christmas, as a matter of fact. And there was a Dr. Nicole Ali, ALI, that was quoted in one of those articles saying that donations are down 15% since the pandemic began. And that's prior to the Omicron virus. Is that your understanding
Yes,
as well?
that is my understanding. And 15% may not sound like a lot of people, but when you translate it into actual physical human beings, it turns out to be quite a few people. And so that's all the difference in the world is if people can, look at the fact that even though this is a raging pandemic, we're in a much better position today than we were last year. And so I'm hoping with discussions like you provide, that people will understand that these hospitals now have, safety protocols, and they make sure that the donor is always first and foremost in terms of health and safety. And so I'm hoping that someone or several people will come forward to help.
Great, great. I noticed that you're part of the National Kidney Registry, which is kind of a cool thing. Talk to us a little bit about your understanding of how the voucher plan works through the NKR.
The National Kidney Registry is an amazing organization, and they have created programs that basically take every reason why a person might say no to helping and turning them into yeses. So, as you mentioned on the outset, expense reimbursement, a voucher program, as you just asked about, where a person who might not be my blood type, who might not be compatible to me, could donate into the system on my behalf, and I would get a voucher through this system, and I would be moved right to the top of the list, and someone that is completely compatible with me would then be able to donate to me. Um, and so it creates kind of like a chain effect where several people can take advantage of one person's altruistic donation, and it moves through the system, and all of these people benefit by one person stepping up and coming forward to help.
Okay. And they also recognize paired donation. In other words, if someone has a donor that doesn't match them, but matches you, and you have a donor that doesn't match you, but matches the other recipient, you guys can swap donors, correct?
Yes, that
Maybe
is
start
correct.
even a chain of kidney donations.
Exactly. And in addition to that, there's also the family program. There was one person who I spoke with who said to me, I am leery to donate because my child and my grandchild have the potential for kidney issues. And so I want to save my kidney for them. And through the National Kidney Registry family program, that person could donate today and provide a kidney into the system, and they would then get up to 5 vouchers for their family into the future. And there's no expiration date. So her concerns about her grandchild, she might, if she waited to help her grandchild, should that person, that child, need a kidney one day, she might age out. She might not be able to provide a kidney at the time that he or she needs one. But by donating today, she would guarantee her child, her grandchild would have vouchers into the future that would move them to the top of the list by helping someone today. And that's called the Family Voucher Program. The family
Wow.
is basically protected into the future if there is kidney disease running in the family, for example, and one person wants to donate, but that child is not ready for a kidney or may not even have kidney issues yet, but she may be waiting just in case. There's no reason to do that anymore because she can protect that person with a voucher into the future.
Yeah, I just want to remind everybody we did a broadcast recently with Shannon Mulroy, who's got a child, Julia, who's was diagnosed when she's 14, 15 years old. And both Shannon and her husband have donated kidneys under that child program because, as you know, pediatric kidney patients will need a couple of more transplants than us average bear guys. So they're anticipating that Julia was going to need transplants in the future, and because of the voucher program, she'll be moved up to the top to get that opportunity. So I appreciate you mentioning that. Come on, Jim, you got to mention the right stuff here. Okay, and the website address again, I want to make sure I get it right this time. www.nkr.org/SFA668. Did I get it right that time, Brett?
You got it absolutely perfect. And the thing is, if you look at that page and you'll read my whole story, and if you scroll down to the bottom, there is a button at the bottom that says donate for Brett. Now, what's most important to understand is that at no time is anyone ever obligated to donate if they click that button. It doesn't mean you are on the hook to donate a kidney. But what it really means is that you can start the process to see if you're eligible, to see where you stand in terms of health and ability to donate. And really, it's so amazing because people may not be aware that they have an internal issue because they present and feel totally 100% fine. But during the process of figuring out if a person is a potential eligible donor, you go through a battery of tests, a CT scan and other tests, and they're able to see if you are really healthy. And I have had potential donors. I've had actually about 10 people that have stepped up to try to help me. And unfortunately, all of them were declined for one reason or another. My brother was the first one to step up when all of this happened. He was declined because he has a history of kidney stones. And I've known this for years, but who knew that that would be a reason to decline a potential donor? The last person, number 10, had no idea she had kidney stones, and they came up in her CT scan. And so now she knows. She may not be an eligible donor to me, but now she knows that she has kidney stones brewing in her system. And so she's able to go and proactively take care of her issue, just simply because she was kind enough to try to donate to me. She may not be an eligible donor. She's able to address a problem before it gets really serious for her. So, there's a hidden blessing in there somewhere that, a person may avoid serious problems because they got tested for me and they're able to take care of their own issues before they become serious.
Excellent. Excellent. I also wanted to point out, Brett, for those people that are unable to donate and want to help, they can share your story and share your page on social media, correct?
Absolutely. And that's probably the biggest gift that I could ask for from someone. If you are unable or are not in a position or not in the right frame of mind to do it right now, by sharing my story, by getting that microsite out there to your circle of friends and beyond that, and if you ask them to share, becomes a viral event. And eventually there will be someone or several people that will say, you know what? I like his story. I feel a connection. I want to help this man. And they may, unbeknownst to you, they may click that button and start the process to help me. And so sharing my story is the most important gift you can provide if you're not in a position to directly help.
Okay. Shout out to my buddy Charles, who's going to be on the show very soon. Charles, looking forward to that broadcast, man. So we can talk about your case too. Okay. 10 potential donors, 10 disqualifications. Is that correct?
That is correct. It's always a sad moment when that comes to reality, but the fact that anyone comes forward, to me is a blessing and a thank you forever for even trying. And that to me is the most important thing of all. So, I thank those 10 people from the bottom of my heart. One of them is my brother. But I am determined to find a living donor, and I'm going to do everything I can to make this happen. And it's through efforts through people like you, Uncle Jim, that I know that I will find that person.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Let's talk about some of the steps that you've taken in an attempt to find a donor. You have a Facebook page, Brett Needs a Kidney, right? Can you tell us a little bit about your Facebook page?
Sure. It has all of my attempts to reach out to people. It has my microsite all over the place. It has, I have been interviewed on television a couple of times, once on a Long Island station, and once with a New York City WPIX station this past, just before Christmas, a few days before Christmas. Those interviews are on the page. And so it gives a person an opportunity to get to really know who I am as a person, and hear me talk about myself, talk about my situation, talk about my passions and my interests, and understand that I'm not just a name, I'm not just a face. I'm really a person that wants to enjoy life, and you know, right now it's challenging to do that until I get a kidney donor because of dialysis. It keeps me kind of pinned to this area. I'd love to travel if I could.
Okay. I mentioned there was a newspaper article right before Christmas. Long Island man in desperate need of a kidney transplant hopes for a Christmas miracle. That's the most recent article that I found written about you. Can you
Yes,
tell
that
us a little
is.
bit
And
about that, please?
actually, sure. It actually was more than just a newspaper article. It was an interview with a TV newscaster who came to my home, I think on December 21st. He contacted me at 3 p.m. of the same day and said, "We're coming down." He came into the house with his cameraman. We spent a couple of hours and he interviewed me, and and that was transcribed uh, onto and basically an article that you can read as well. So there's the video as well as the written article that is on the WPIX 11.com website, as well as on my Brett Needs a Kidney uh, Facebook page. So you can see the interview, you can read the article, and you can find out more about me.
Okay. And again, the links are contained in the comments.
Right.
So if you're interested in checking that article out, go straight to the comments and click on it. Take you right there. There's another article that I read, Great Neck Man Looking for Life-Saving Angel Donor of Kidney. Can you tell us a little bit about that article?
Sure. That was actually about a year ago or so, and our local television station uh, interviewed me. That was a webcam event, and so again, there was all of this information that was available as a video that was on TV locally all over Long Island, New York, and so they again also emphasized the fact that we are in the middle of COVID and it's challenging, and there are altruistic people out there that may want to help. And even with COVID, there's a way to do it very safely, and you can help another human being live longer than they would otherwise if they're just on dialysis.
Okay.
And that's
I
also
saw an
on
article
the Facebook
also
page.
on Compassion Match as well as a YouTube video. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience with Pastor?
Yes, he was, I think, probably the first person to interview me, and he and I chatted for quite a bit. He was very interested in my story, the fact that I was a merchant marine ship captain, and that I have helped people all around the world just by virtue of bringing product that was life-saving for them. And so he felt a, a kinship in the sense that I had helped save lives, and so he was hoping as well to do the same for me. And so yes, he interviewed me, and it was again very nice. The challenge, of course, is the fact that I'm still looking for somebody, but I am doing everything in my power to raise my awareness, to let as many people know about my situation, and to try and find that life-saving donor.
Okay. Tell us, why are you seeking a kidney transplant? What are your reasons personally for wanting to get transplanted?
Well, dialysis is a Band-Aid. Dialysis keeps you alive, but it doesn't allow you to live. It's a very challenging process on the body. It's exhausting. It does put an incredible strain on all of your organs, and it is highly recommended that you be on dialysis for as short a period of time as possible. It keeps you going until you find that donor that saves your life. That is the whole purpose of it. There are people, unfortunately, that develop the need for dialysis that are unable, or through health reasons or age, or any one of a number of factors that are they cannot be transplanted. And so for those people, it is their only lifeline to staying alive. Fortunately, I'm healthy enough that I can not just get a transplant, but then live a normal life. And so for me, obtaining that altruistic soul, finding that altruistic soul that can help me by donating a kidney, will prolong my life for many, many, many years. And I am full of life. I have so much yet to accomplish, and so I have a huge purpose to be here on this earth. And dialysis has only slowed me down; it hasn't stopped me. And finding that donor will allow me to help more people.
Okay. Little shout out to my buddy Kent Bressler from Kidney Solutions. He's helping people get preemptive kidney transplants through Kidney Solutions. And, I highly recommend that if you're seeking a transplant, you contact my good friend Kent. Personally, what would it mean to you to get a transplant? How would it change your life? What are your personal reasons for seeking a kidney?
Well, certainly I want to extend my life. My life will be significantly longer with a transplanted kidney than if I stay on dialysis. And so I am willing to put all of the work in that's necessary to find that person that can help me. How will it change my life? It will allow me to help other people in their journey to finding a kidney, what to do, how to do it, and how to be an active part of the community. Because when I first lost my kidneys, I didn't know about any of this. I didn't know about the different types of hospitals. I didn't know anything. And I was really on my own until over time, and through just real persistence, I developed relationships with people in this community. And I don't want another person to have to go through that learning curve when that information is readily available if you happen to know the right person or people. And so if I am lucky enough and blessed enough to be given a donor organ, my goal is to help all of those people that are in this situation that have no idea which way to turn and how to move forward. My life was turned upside down when this happened to me, and I feel much better about things today than I did when this first happened. So my goal is to help other people in this situation to learn how to navigate what are very challenging waters.
Okay, we're in the home stretch here, Brett.
Okay.
Is there anything that you would like to mention? Is there anything I forgot to bring up during our discussion tonight that you would like to talk to the folks about?
I have to tell you, Uncle Jim, you were incredibly thorough in all of the questions and all of the information that you provided. There's not much else I can add except to say it's that time of year where I'm hoping people are still in a giving mood, where people are in a position to say, I'd like to look at helping. How can I do that? The National Kidney Registry removes all of the financial issues a person may have in terms of, well, I'd like to donate, but I can't afford to be out of work for a week or two or whatever. The National Kidney Registry will reimburse you for your lost wages. There are incredible programs to help the donor. And I have learned that when it comes to the hospitals, the National Kidney Registry, all of the people in the community that are involved in this process, the most important person in this entire scheme of things is the donor. You are numero uno in terms of people making sure that you are A-OK on every level, whether it be financial, whether it be health, everything. And so if you have any thoughts that you want to help another human being, be it myself or others that are in need of a kidney donation, you should really explore it. Come forward. There's no obligation until you do it, but to come forward and to try to help could be a life-changing event, not just for me, but for the person who actually donates, because statistics have shown that their look on life is increased many-fold because they know they helped another human being live who might not have because of their coming forward and their positive actions.
Okay. Brett, I greatly appreciate you taking time to come on with us tonight and speak to us about your situation. And on behalf of Kidney Stories 2 and the Urban Health Media Outreach Network, we wish you the greatest luck in finding a donor. And I hope somebody comes through for you soon, buddy.
Thank you so much.
I was on dialysis for 4 years, and this is a much better way of life, being transplanted. Rather take the pills and get the needles.
Yeah, exactly. You understand completely. I thank you very much for your dedication in this cause.
You're welcome. We're happy to do it. All right, that's Brett Ashley for tonight. Let's talk a little bit about. Bye-bye, Brett. Let's talk a little bit about what's on the horizon. Next week, I'm actually producing a show by myself. You'll recall Dr. Sejal Patel was supposed to come on the broadcast. She decided to have a kidney transplant the day before the broadcast, so it didn't really seem like a good idea to go forward. So she's going to come on next week, January 14th. We're going to talk about her work at the Mayo Clinic and in research and the things that they're doing in research that, of course, are interesting. And obviously, we're going to talk about her recent kidney transplant, which should be pretty cool. Lisa Thompson is coming on with us January 28th right here on the Urban Health Media Outreach Network. Lisa's with the National Kidney Donation Organization. We're going to talk a little bit about her personal kidney story, the things she's doing with the NDO, and she's got some stuff that's going on Facebook that's pretty remarkable too. So we're going to talk to her a little bit about that. On February 4th, we're talking to Dr. Andrew Lazar. He does genetic testing. As a PKD patient, genetic testing has been very important to me in my life. And, I worry about my son. And he's been through that process as well. The doctor's going to come on and tell us the importance about genetic testing and how that has affected his practice and the medication and the treatment that he gives to his own patients. Very interesting discussion. Our old buddy Shano is going to be back on with us the end of February. If you recall, Shane Blanchard just had a kidney transplant. He's had unsuccessful attempts before. This one appears to be taking. He's doing very well. So we want to talk to Shane and get an update, find out what's going on. Stacy Remendandi is coming on February 25th. That's another individual kidney patient. She posted her story on my Transplant Stories kidney group. And I just thought that it was such a remarkable story. I had to have her come on so she could share it with all of you. So, watch this space because we've got things going on. And I'm just scratching the surface there. I've got guys from Belgium and London that want to come on with us. I got to produce a broadcast at midnight to get these guys on. I have a guy, Colum from Ireland, who's going to come on with us. Colum is a 3-time kidney transplant patient. He works for a company that makes this, tacrolimus. So we're going to talk to him about his kidney transplant experiences and his work, and all kinds of things are happening. So watch this space, my friends, and we'll talk soon. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Now I gotta ride or die.